evening, everybody, and a very warm welcome to the final 2 rounds of DBGT Season 1. We head to 2 fantastic tracks to end this season with, and one of them I'm absolutely gonna love. I'm very excited about it. One of which we're gonna be doing in just a minute. We're gonna be doing Watkins Glen, and that's gonna be the longer course, and then we go to another fictional track, which is Trial Mountain. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Jessica. I'm going to be your commentator for this evening. And we've got a championship on our hands. Yes, the championship will be decided tonight, and only 2 drivers have what it takes to become champion because they're the only ones mathematically in it. So, the top 2 going into this week, I will get the standings up on your screen so you can see it. Hopefully it's the right ones, because last week I had the wrong ones on my screen because I saved the wrong image. Oops. But anyway, 20 points separating Jovial and Court at the moment in the standings. So Jovial currently leading by him having the most wins this season. If Jovial outscores Court in race 7, he'll be champion with a race to spare, because the points overall, there are maximum of 17 points per race. So basically, if he outscores Court, then there's nothing that Court could do. Jovial is your champion. But if Court does outscore by a certain amount of points, then things can change ever so slightly, which I really do hope that the championship goes to the final race. That will be very exciting. But you never know. You never know. Anything can happen in this league, and we hope you're all looking forward to it. Let us know your predictions in the chat on who you think is going to win the title. Do you think Jovial could win it tonight in either round 7 or round 8? Or do you think that Court can give a little bit of a run for their money? Honestly, I am very excited. It's going to be a lot of fun. So, but anyway, points are as follows. So we've got 15 points for first, 12 points for second, and third gets 10 points. So those are your overall points, and of course you get point for pole position. And I can't remember if you get one for fastest lap or not. I'm trying to remember that, but we'll have to do some maths on that one. So we are about to get into the qualifying session here this evening, and we have got Jovial, who's topping the practice session, but I will show you the gameplay once we head to the main qualifying session. And I think we are about to get going with qualifying. Yes, we are, which is great timing, you know. You see, they may have timed it well for me, so thank you very much. So, a little bit about Watkins Glen then. It was the spiritual home of road racing in the USA and still is. And there's been top level racing here since the 1940s. And pretty much all major road racing classes competed here at Watkins Glen, from Formula 1 through to Can-Am and the NASCAR Cup Series. And most people know it as the Glen. There was 6 hours of the Glen. IMSA took part here as well. There are quite a lot of things as well. It was a 6.6 mile course, which is very long, and then a permanent circuit emerged around about the 1960s, and Formula 1 stars made their first appearance as well. I would have loved to have seen Formula 1 back in the day at Watkins Glen. I'll see if I can find some old footage and maybe watch it in a few days' time. But qualifying gets underway for the penultimate time here as we don't want our championship leader to have a little bit of a spin there. That is not ideal. And for some reason, I don't know why, there's no audio. There we go. You can hear audio now. That is great news. Luckily, I've been paying attention to my OBS, because otherwise people will complain, oh, you don't get it, there's audio. But anyway, we don't have as many drivers tonight. That's fine. 12 drivers is what we usually have anyway. So we've got our top 2 tonight of Jovial and Court. We have Casper as well, Alistair, Aiden, Jack, Dom. We got Waze, we got Luca, we got Sean, which is Wet Lemons, we got Lewis, and we got Jake. So 12 drivers here this evening. and there's certain drivers that are not here, so there we go. But we are about to get underway then. I believe Court is going to be the first driver who's going to set a lap time. So let's go on board with him as he makes his way through the lap. This is one of my favourite sections of the lap as they make their way through the back straight. And you're going to be going through the inner loop soon, which is going to be very blinding for the drivers. It's a very blind apex coming up, and you've got to get your braking point absolutely right, because otherwise there's going to be a lot of trouble for the drivers, so we'll watch out a little bit. So he seems to be doing that all right. Gets a little bit of the curb quite nicely indeed as well. And because it's the long course, it's pretty much a majority of the circuit. It's 5.40 kilometres, 3.37 miles. And the elevation change, 41.1 metres long, which is honestly quite massive. And it has 15 turns, and they're making their way. I'm just trying to get the map up in front of me so I can see what's going on. So they're making their way towards past turn 11 and in towards this next section by the bridge in towards turn 12 and 13. And you really got to have the car settle through there to get the best exit and the best traction that you need to as well. Of course, it is GT3 cars. He's about to finish his lap time with a few more corners to go. Goes close to the wall he can to maximise the lap time, and it is a 1:45.716. But we've seen Alistair go out there on top and go even quicker than that. Jovial goes second fastest. So those are your times so far. And it is interesting as well in terms of the championship that there is a battle for other positions. There's a battle for P7 in the championship as well, and P4 in the championship. A lot of drivers could still be in a shot. Of course, some drivers are not here tonight, so for some drivers that will make getting certain positions easier. But the one who's leading the charge, obviously got Sean, who's the one in 7th at the moment, but we've got Aiden and Jake's in here tonight, and Lewis as well. Battle for 4th, Waze, I think, is the only one. Well, Sean could technically still get 4th as well. The championship, I think, between 4th and 10th and 11th is so close. It could be anyone's game right now. So this is going to be interesting. Casper, lovely photos, by the way, from the sideshow. Massive shout out to him for providing us that. Unfortunately, he has got a bit of a penalty, though, so he's going to have to back out of his lap time. But yeah, the pictures that you saw within the sideshow do belong to him. Let's watch Alistair then. The Red Bull livery car getting a bit of slipstream from Casper. His fastest lap time is around about 10th quicker than everybody else. He did 10th down his previous best, but the important thing around here is you've got to show your consistency, and that's what he's trying to do in the Red Bull. But he's got a penalty for good measure, and that is not ideal. But it is a 1:45.387, which was about a tenth slower anyway. As Jovial goes faster with a 1:45.0, and he's probably going to say to everybody, take your cupcake and eat it. I might have said that phrase wrong, but who cares? Who cares? Jovial wants to win the championship in round 7. He doesn't want to put too much pressure on himself for round 8 in the trial mountain. He wants to do it here tonight, which he possibly could do. Dom Smith has had a great season as well. He's up for 7th as well. About a 3 or 4 point gap to his nearest rivals. So this is going to be interesting for him. We've seen great fights last week between himself. Jack was in this fight as well. Jake was. Lewis as well. The midfield is so really close that it could be anyone's game through that part of the championship. Of course, for some drivers not here, this can change things. But there might be certain people that may not be expected to get up there and might be setting new expectations. Jack is improving a little bit on his lap time And he is looking to get into the top 10 as he's got a few more corners to go off his lap. Through he comes then towards the start, finish straight in just a moment. Flicks the car to the left-hand side. And he's actually got not a few more corners to go, excuse me. The trap map being the trap map. I get a bit confused there as Jovial sets the fastest lap then. Once again, the first driver to go into the 144s. And what can Jack do? He goes up to the line and it's going to be a 1:47.239 and he does improve on his lap time. Alistair does not improve, but he is 3 tenths up. I'm just trying to see if anyone else is on a better lap time. I'm just trying to see if anyone's about to finish here. Lewis Cray is about to finish his lap time. So what can he do? And he has got a McDonald's livery. Now that McDonald's livery, I'm a fan. I don't know how he had the time to create that livery, but fair play for him to make that livery. That does look pretty cool, by the way. And of course, with GT7, people could be very creative with their liveries at the moment. Now, who have we gone on board with that much? Aiden's got a penalty. Never mind. Let's go on board with Luca, the attack livery, as he goes through. And I think Dom Smith is going to get a slipstream from him as well. Now, all these drivers will be qualifying on soft compounder tyres, and it'll be up to the drivers to choose what strategy they go on to. And if you are new to DBGT, no mandatory stops. But we've seen in the majority of the rounds for the last 4 weeks that people kind of had to pit anyway, because otherwise their tyres won't get to the end. But we did see some people in all the rounds make a 0 stop work. So that is the beauty of GT Sport. GT7, it could go either way. Now, I nearly said GT Sport. We are not on GT Sport. But there we go. And we'll see then if anybody else improved on their lap time. Luca goes up to the line. 1:45.7 goes into 5th spot, where Lemons goes up into 2nd. His fastest lap time then is a 1:45.130. 2 tenths down on Jovial, but less than a tenth separating him and this guy, Alistair. That's going to be an interesting rivalry. And of course, we've got 10-minute qualifying. They do not have long to go. Lewis Craig, I did see get in too. Oh, it would have, but I didn't select the wrong keyboard. But everyone should be on their last laps now, and they only have a few opportunities to get their best laps in. So final lap now for all the drivers. I'm going to see who's going to finish one first. It is Court, who needs to have a great result today in order for... He needs to get that point per pole in order to close the gap a bit. And then the gap will be 19 points instead of 20. But he's a tenth down low, which is not what he wants. He's got to maximise that time in the final sector. He's got to. He's got to get into the 144s as well. Can he do it? Alistair hits the wall, almost. Court does not do it, but can Jovial improve on his lap time? The answer to that is no. But he's still pole anyway. Casper and Aiden both come up to the line. Casper 6th. Aiden improves to 7th place. A few drivers going into the pits now. Is anyone else on a lap time? I think Lewis is on a lap time. So he's going to make his way through and see if he can get anything higher than a P8 at the moment, which can be possible for him. What can he do? 1:46.181 for Lewis Craig. So he improves to 7th spot. So that is your order then for the race, the first race of the evening at Watkins Glen. And it is Jovial that gets the point for pole position and increases the gap to 21 points. It's going to be harder for Court to get the result that he wants. But anything can happen around Watkins Glen. We've seen many instances before. We've seen Jovial win the last 3 races. And I think Court won a couple as well. Those are the only 2 drivers that have won races this season. Could we see a different winner? Of course, we're going to have to wait and see as we go on. And I think we're about to get started with the race soon. So we'll switch scenes a little bit. Now, a few people were saying in the chat that a lot of people weren't able to get a good lap together. They go purple and last part of the lap they mess up. The final set could be one of the trickiest. So I completely understand where people are coming from there. So you do get points for pole and points for fastest lap. So that's the maximum of 17 points per round. So, of course, Jovial's got one of them. And Court now, he's got to win. He's got to win with, I think, Jovial finishing 3rd or lower in order to take this fight to the final round. But then Jovial will just need to score then. So, of course, I'll keep an eye on the permutations as we are going on. We are going to be starting any second now. And I have to say, very well done to Wet Lemons, by the way, for getting a P2 in qualifying. That is very impressive. Something that he was not expecting. He's only a 10th off Jovial. And I did say we could get a new winner. Could tonight be one of those nights with Wet Lemons? And he even said in the chat that he don't think it would last. But, yeah, I mean, you never know. You never know. And the drivers have been given a reminder, of course, to change the compound of tyres to the tyre that they want to. And the drivers should be loading in now so they can change their strategies. And I'm going to change scenes right now. 13 laps await our drivers. And I'm really looking forward to this one. And I hope you are too. Could this man here that you're on board with win the title? We're about to go racing in Watkins Glen, and it is go. Jovial gets a very clean getaway as they all make their way down the hill for the very first time into turn 1 and 2. Now heading towards this straight where we could see quite a lot of overtakes here and quite a lot of brave overtakes here as well. So it should be very, very interesting to see how they manage this throughout the lap. We can see a few side-by-side action in the background as we can see Court trying to get up the inside of Alistair through a very tight chicane and a tiny bit of contact there, and Luca trying to get past as well. Court wasn't able to, and Luca's saying thank you very much, I want to try and get past him. Casper trying to follow him through as well for good measure, and sometimes following people is the best measure. Casper going to go side by side as well up through the hill. The top 2 have been left for dust while these guys are allowed fighting. Aiden's in this as well as he tries to get past Casper up the hill around the outside. Wade is 2. Don't forget they're all on different tyres, so I wonder if Casper is on a different tyre compared to everybody else. Casper stayed in 7th for now, but he's going to hold it for that much longer. Wade tries to cut through, which he does. Wade up into 7th. Casper is on at the hards, which is why a lot of people are going past him. But what he's hoping is to still stay within reach and not being able to stop. So I think he might go for a zero-stop strategy. Alistair's on the hard as well, but he is keeping everybody else in a very long train. Welcome to the Alistair train, ladies and gentlemen, whilst Jovial and Wet Lemons are on the medium compound tyres. We're about to start lap 2 then. Have you seen more side-by-side action with Aiden and Waze? Waze almost going off the circuit there. And I think this could get very hairy. They're not careful. Through in towards turn 3 and 4. And I think we're seeing more action between Luca now. I think Luca's got Alistair eventually. Is he going to keep that line? He does. Through into turn 7 and 8 they go. But Alistair's still right on the gearbox of Luca. So it's about managing their pace on those hard compounded tyres for Alistair in that sense, in the Red Bull. And for Luca, it's about not overdoing it and not pushing it too much, but making sure you can defend. I think the top two, especially Wet Lemons, is pretty much liking the fact that everyone else is fighting. And Wet Lemon is catching up to Jovial right now. I hope that we can see a surprise coming up as well. That would be amazing. Oh, we can see Waze going, trying to fight back with Court trying to attack as well. And Court keeps 5th place, but Waze wants that from it. Oh, contact! A bit of contact made there, but no harm done, of course. Aiden trying to do all he can to get past Court 2. Could the tyres really come into effect? I think Court's on the hard compounded tyres as well. Dom is in 9th place. I would assume he might be on the same tyre as quite a lot of people. So your order at the moment is Jovial from Wet Lemons from Luca. Now on board the Luca train. Alistair in 4th. Wade in 5th. Aiden Griffins in 6th. Court in 7th. Casper in 8th. Trying to catch up to these lot, which could be possible. Dom Smith in 9th. Jake in 10th. And he's got Lewis Craig right behind him. And also Jack Craig. So that backfield fight is, I think, going to be insane to watch as well. So we've got battle for the midfield and battle for the last lot of positions. You do not want to be the wooden spoon, I could tell you that. So we'll keep an eye on those battles as it progresses. And as it stands, if Jovial wins the race, no matter what Court does, Jovial is champion. But look at Ray's round the outside of Alistair. Can he sneak P4 off of Alistair? Alistair's having none of that. And I think we've got Aiden, who's got a penalty, which is going to allow Court to get past, and maybe Casper to get past as well. Penalties can be quite common here. And that's not what they want at this stage of the race. Wade is now up to 4th spot, but Wade also gets a penalty too. Wade. That is gutting. I think I won't be surprised to see a lot more penalties from some drivers as they really start to get used to the circuit. As we are on lap 4 now of 13. And don't forget, when they get to the acceleration point, that is where they have to slow down and serve their penalty. It's not like, of course, the F1 games where it gets served at the end of the race. And just a quick promotion, because of course we don't just run GT here, we're running an F1 season for the first time since season, well, I can't remember what season it was, but the first time since F1 23, following a similar format to TGP2, apart from the fact you're getting points for the top 6. As long as we get enough drivers, we will be having a stream tomorrow. So as long as we get 14 drivers or more, we will be having a stream tomorrow. We only got 12 at the moment, so at the moment we won't have any streams going on until next week. But that's fine. Casper did get past Aiden, I believe, as well. So Casper's hard is starting to come into play for him. And he's starting to be a bit more consistent with his pace right now. So where's Waze? Where are you? There you go. I've always keep pressing the wrong button. So Alistair and Waze keeps switching positions. And you can see Court right in the middle of this. This could potentially be 3 wide if they're not careful. And this has allowed Casper back into the fight. Waze on our left at his right. Alistair to his left. Can anyone pull off a brave move to get 4th place? Waze comes in, so the answer to that for him is no. We'll see what tyres he goes on in a minute, because we got a battle on our hands here. Court, who's trying to chase down Jovial for the title, needs to get those moves done, which he does. He passes Alistair for 4th place. Alistair, I think, seems to be struggling on those on those tyres, which means Casper is going to try and go for the move. Side by side they go, and Casper is through into 6th place. Well, he was in 6th. Can he get 5th? It's going to be a very tough ask as they head towards turn 8 and 9 now. To be fair, this is one of my favourite parts of the circuit. Aiden tries to go for another move as well. They're not going to give up, are they? This is insane. They're side-by-side battles everywhere. Maybe I should have a go at this on GT7. I will probably find that quite cool, actually. Aiden tucks in a bit of contact once more. What's going up front? Court still in 4th place. Court needs to catch Luca up. He has to. Because otherwise his championship is over. His championship is pretty much over anyway if Jovial wins the race. So he's going to be doing all he can. That's why he's gone for the hard tyres. I can see why he's gone for the hard tyres, because he wants to go long. But we know, of course, the track temperatures around here, usually in a real life Watkins Glen race, they usually get hot anyway. So they got to think about that. And you can see on the left-hand side, the more red it gets, the more wear the tyres have. And the less red it is, the much better they're doing on their tyre wear. So they can stretch out those hards a bit longer if they want to. So Alistair and Court roughly about the same. Aiden's actually doing quite well on mediums, despite the fact he's on softer tyres and less durable tyres. So Aiden doing a great job there. Dom Smith on those mediums having some good wear as well. So he is. So basically, we missed all the battling going on in the back because there was so much happening in the midfield. Do apologise there, but there's so much going on. It's absolutely insane. So Jack Craig's up into 9th, but we got Jake and Lewis fighting side by side, nose to tail. Jake's saying personal best right now. Lewis clipped a little bit at that curb, tries to go around the outside. And I think Lewis has got him. Nope. Jake tucks back on the inside. Lewis Craig, I think, wants to try and keep that position as much as they can. Still side by side coming up there as well. Lewis Craig up to 10th spot. So great battles near the back. What's going on at the front? Court still in 4th place. The gap between Court and Luke is around about 3.7 seconds. So that's the gap between those two right now. So that shows, I think, Luca's doing a great job just to maintain that pace up front. Jovial, gap is 7.8 seconds. You can see the laps on the right-hand side. It's just very, very consistent for him. Wet Lemon is in. The driver that was in 2nd place comes in onto another set of the mediums. Will it pay off for him? Jovial's on mediums as well. So is Luca. Court's chance of keeping his championship over alive is if he can make those hards last. He's got to stay out. He's got to. I know I keep saying he's got to a lot, but that is a lot of things that can happen here. So what could possibly go wrong for some of these drivers? We are pretty much halfway race distance. So if you haven't already, make sure you give the stream a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and hit that notification bell if you are new, so you can see all of the race action. Meanwhile, Aiden and Casper and Alistair, their battle is still going strong. And for those three, I think the majority of them will be staying out anyway, so that will be going on for as long as they can. And they're catching up to Court as well. So could Court's tyres start to give up the ghost here? For Court's sake, he hopes he does not. So it's Job you've got to think about pitting. He does. It's like he can read my mind here, folks. Jovial comes in into the pit lane. So he comes in into the pit lane. And he's going on to another set of the memes. It'll be interesting to see where he comes out. Lucas surely will have to come in soon, because otherwise his tyres will die. Court, do you think his tyres will get to the end? Let us know in the chat. Do you think the ones on the Haas will get to the end from here? We'll have to find out. And I have to say, Court's doing a good job keeping his championship hopes alive. Of course, we'll keep an eye on at the points to see whether he's going to be doing enough to keep his hopes alive. Battle for 4th and 7th is going strong as well. Wet Lemons is right in the middle of this Lewis versus Jake battle. Now, Wet Lemons is probably not going to like this, but Wet Lemons and Jake and Lewis have been fighting all season. So they have very similar pace, and it is honestly always so refreshing to watch these guys. Lewis Craig does have a penalty though, so I think could Wet Lemons just wait for the right opportunity. We got Dom Smith versus Jack Craig. Those two have been fighting all season, but Jack Craig has to slow down as well. Oh no! So Jack Craig must have got another penalty somehow as well. So I think we got Lewis is being passed by Wet Lemons, and now the Lewis and Jake battle is going to go strong as well. We've got a 5/10 gap between Casper and Alistair. Alistair still keeping ahead of Casper, but we know how Casper's consistent pace is. It's going to work wonders for him potentially. Already this race has been going on for 14 minutes. You can tell I like Watkins Glen with how quick it's gone. And for me, personally, I want this race to go on for a little bit longer. But I know a few people will hate me for it. But, of course, Watkins Glen is amazing. What can you do? Casper got a very good exit, by the way, which I think could help him a little bit here. He's 1/10 up. And he's used quite a lot of the curb. And it has not unsettled him. He hasn't cut the curb too much either, which has really helped him. And he's got to gain all the time he needs. We got Jovial as well back in this fight. There's quite a bit of debris. Well, not debris. A bit of marbles on the track as well. So I wonder if some people, like at the end of the race, would want to pick up rubber a little bit. We'll have to wait and see. The gap between Jovial and Wet Lemons is 12 seconds, by the way. So Jovial's pit stop, no matter what happened, he would have come out ahead of Wet Lemons anyway. I like the difference in strategies here, because we have people starting to close up onto Luca now, Court being one of them, which shows that Court might have been managing his tyres a lot better, which honestly is very, very impressive. Which I think could be crucial at this point. And we got Luca that just come into the pit. I'm shocked. But again, he was on memes, so fair play for him keeping those memes up for a long time. But you could see that everyone else was closing up, and I think that honestly there was nothing more that he could do. But fair play for trying. We'll see where he comes out as well. So we'll see what he can do. So I'm trying to do the maths here in terms of course. I'm just trying to get the points system here. in terms of how people will do. There we go. I'll get it on my other screen so I know I won't lose it. So. I've got it. So I could technically do the maths here, which is always good news. So we've got Court that leads. Alistair in second. So if it was to finish as they were, so Court's got the fastest lap, so he would get 16 points. Plus Jovial's 10 points. That'll be an extra 6 points gained for Court. So I think as it stands, 21 minus 6, I'll do. It will just about be enough for Court to keep his title hopes alive, I think. But if Court does not get pole or fastest lap, then he's going to be in a spot of bother come the main race at Trial Mountain. But if Jovial goes and makes the move on Casper, then Jovial would do enough to win the title. So he's got to have the time of his life. Actually, no, it's 16 points. Why did I think it was 21? It's 20 points that he's ahead Jovial in the championship. Forgot about that. Or was it 21? I did retweet a tweet earlier, I think. I did say that. Let me have a look. Yeah, it was 20 points. So yeah, 21. I was right. I'm being blind. And whilst we were all seeing this, Casper's up to second, and he's going to be annoyed that I didn't catch that. But you can see the Mercedes is getting quite quick here as well. Which could be useful in a straight line. And I think you can see Jovial trying to go for the lunge here. So Casper went through on Alistair. But is Jovial going to get past on Casper? We'll have to find out. A bit of a love tap at the moment, but Jovial's not going to let Casper win this that easy. Jovial gets P2. Can he catch up to Court on the final lap? So, if I do the maths again then, so if Court wins and gets fastest lap, he will be on, let me have a look, so 73 and 15 out 1. He'll be on 89. Jovial will be on, so it'll be 93 plus 12 plus 1, be on 106. So 106 minus 89, that'll be 70. That'll be close in terms of points here. That will be close. In order for... Oh, Jovial's got fastest lap now. Never mind. Jovial's got fastest lap now. So the gap will be 18 points. So many things has gone on. It's crazy. Trying to keep an eye on a championship fight. And a lot of things that can change things. We've got Waze and Aiden fighting for it. Lewis and Jake fighting for it as well. Well, they were, but the gap's come down a little bit. Waze has got a penalty, unfortunately, which is a shame. So many interesting things have happened this season. Of course, the race is set to time 6 race tire-wise, so for some parts of the lap, things could go very quickly. Court's about to start the final lap of the race, but he knows he has got a chasing Jovial behind. Court knows that Court's tyres are going. Jovial knows this as well. Jovial has got to make the move of his life. If Jovial gets past Court, Court will have nothing to stand on, and Jovial will be your champion. But we'll have to wait and see on the final lap. Let's draw our attention to these two battling, because I think we can't draw our eyes off it right now. Jovial right on the gearbox. This could be make or break for him. This could be the championship move that he could do here, which he does. A fantastic move, a champion's move. But Court has got plenty of corners to try and still take the win here. It is not over. He could not give up hope. He thought that staying out will be beneficial. It was technically to gain quite a few more positions. But would he benefited in pitting to still try and gain the honestly, it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell if he made the right decision or not. But of course, all of what it depends on was qualifying. Jovial did a good lap in qualifying. He also got fastest lap as well. He's getting fastest lap as well as it stands, unless anyone else can respond to that. He's pulling away that gap. This man has been a superstar all season. He has won the most races. I know we got one more race to go, but the way that he's driven this season is crazy and insane. So, through Watkins Glen, he goes up to the line, and he's your DBGT Season 1 champion. We have a new champion at Dive Bomb, and his name is Jovial. Congratulations. With one race to spare, he has done it. No pressure on him when he gets to Trial Mountain. He is a champion. I'm sure he's going to be very happy with that. As I think we got a battle between 7th and 8th here. Could Wade just about get Aiden across the line? Oh no, can Lewis get Aiden across the line? The liveries look similar, okay? Looked very similar. So it was between those four, but we went on the onboard shot, which we shouldn't have done because we got it more closer. But yes. What a race. To be fair, I could not take my eyes off of that. And we hope you couldn't take your eyes off that too. Pole position, clean race. That was exactly what he wanted. And Sean, I think I just put in the chat, that 3-second pit penalty is a killer. Yes, it is. That was got him for you. So I was wondering how he lost time, but he got a 3-second penalty. That is a shame. That is a shame. A lot of drivers of the day there. Casper did very well as well. And I think we had some good scraps elsewhere through the field as well. Wet Lemons pulled off a great performance. Luca tried his best to stay out as much as he can. And there was quite a few other drivers as well. I think Casper will be happy with that performance quite a lot as well. So, that would help if I went into studio mode, wouldn't it? That would help, yes. But even though the championship has been decided, we've still got one more round. And we still got the fight for 4th and 7th still to decide in the championship. It could go anyone's way between those two positions in the championship. And it's all about which drivers do not make a mistake there. Sean is in the hot seat to get 7th at the moment. He could get higher than that. Potentially. You never know with this situation. But we're going to have to wait and see, shall we? We'll be back then in about 5-10 minutes for the next qualifying session for the final round of the championship. Time does fly when you're having fun, because we do have a lot of fun here at Dive Bomb. But we will see you in just a moment for the final qualifying session of the season. Welcome back to DBGT. We head to the final round of the season, and welcome to Trial Mountain. First used on mainline Gran Turismo games. It didn't appear on Gran Turismo Sport, but it also featured in Tourist Trophy and Gran Turismo PSP as well. It is set in a mountainous area in Sierra Nevada, USA, and it is almost, well, it's pretty much 3.98 kilometers long, 2.47 miles. And the road type is tarmac, and the BOP usually is set to mid-speed cars will suit this car eventually. And quite a lot of licensed events take place here as well. So a lot of these drivers will definitely be familiar with what is going on here. So here we go then, the final round of season 1. And why is it showing car names instead of driver names? There we go. That would have been awful if I showed you that, but we're going to show you something different. So we're running on board then with our newly crowned champion. He's kicked off a bit of the grass there, but he is all right. Oh my goodness, I just love the scenery of this section. Of course, this is one of the first games to be having the PS5 really insane graphics, so you can see, and of course it would look quite a lot better on PS5 Pro, but I may stick to PC, and so that means I can't afford a PS5 Pro. But anyway, he is making his way through these next sequences. I need to get the track map up on my screen. Do. And I think that is the right... No, it's not. It does not show that properly. Oh, wait a minute. It does. It does. There we go. It does show it properly as I was getting up on my screen. So, don't forget, points for pole position are still up for grabs here. So it could be anyone's game. We're down to 11 drivers. I remember someone saying that they couldn't make this round, which was Waze, I believe. But everyone else is here, so 11 drivers is better than no drivers, eh? So this track consists of quite a few turns for their drivers to make their way around. It starts with a fast uphill left-right series of bends. Most cars are able to take it through full throttle, providing that the best of lines is taken through turn 1. Let's go on board with Aiden then as he makes his way through turn number 1. So it is very uphill set of bends here. Look at that. It's sort of similar to how people do it in a rally car as well. And now heading towards the tunnel through turn 4. It's a blind corners. So, for the first few times around this track, people may want to take it easy to familiarise themselves. Now, you just pass this corner here where you could get quite a bit of understeer. And a lot of the car, you're going to be turning quite a lot. Into the second tunnel now, which looks absolutely fantastic. And as you head to the final one, you need to let the car drift out as much as you possibly can, but we're not quite there yet. It is a long tunnel coming up as well. And you're going at top speed of a massive... It's insane. Another tight bend as well. It is a very hilly bend. And it's a long lap as well for the drivers to cope with. As Alice has got a time penalty, which is not what he wants at this stage. So we'll go for your order then in qualifying so far. So Jovial is currently leading the way in terms of qualifying. Casper in P2, Luca in 3rd, Aiden in 4th, Court in 5th, Wet Lemon in 6th, Lewis Craig in 7th with his McDonald's livery, Jack Craig in 8th with his monster style livery, as it were. Jake in 9th, Dom Smith in 10th, and Alistair down in 11th. I was not expecting Alistair to be down in 11th. He's got to find that time, and I bet you he'll find the time right now. There you go. He jumps up into 5th place because he did not set a lap time. That explains it then. That explains it. And since it's been there quite a lot, this track, the key situation about this track is precision. Precision is very key through certain corners. The elevation changes can be quite interesting. The final chicane as well. This circuit can really hurt you if you get it wrong. And the final chicane has never been the same on Gran Turismo games. In Gran Turismo 7, which is the latest game, which is the one that the drivers are racing on right now, the final chicane's been changed. The technique of the approach, yeah, it's the same. The corners are a bit further apart than usual. And the penultimate corner is so much tighter. So you want to take a line that clips the apex a little bit. You keep to the inside line. And that gives you the best line that you need for the final turn to gain speed going onto the main straight. And I remember in GT5, there was something called the rollover trophy as well, where we saw the final corner was the ideal place to gain the hidden bronze level PSN trophy. And who likes hidden trophies? I love hidden trophies. Luca goes up to the line now to finish his lap then. He goes 4th. And we only got a few minutes of qualifying remaining. And there are some corners where you take very, very fast. Casper thinks he can go quicker. Luca through the tunnel, through sector 1. We'll see what Alistair can do now if he improves. He does not improve on his time, so he's going to go again. Aiden through the tunnel, and Lewis follows him through as well. There's a lot of traffic as they're about to go onto the back straight. The track map in certain areas kind of reminds me, I wonder if they've purposely done this, but some bits of it will look very similar to Miami. Very similar to Miami, to be fair. It looks cool. It looks cool. But again, it might just be me imagining things. So your current time to beat is a 150.789. That is a time where all 11 drivers need to beat our champion. Core having a much better qualifying than last time. I nearly stopped streaming. That would have been a disaster. But Court had a much better qualifying this time than last time. He seems to be, I think, a little bit more hooked about this circuit. We have 1 more minute to go of this qualifying session as Jovial sets a new record again, a 150.755, which is about a second quicker than everybody else. Court improved to second. Casper is going to get some good slipstream on Luca, which I think will help here. Casper goes up to the line. He goes P2, 151.1. Best of the rest right now. I think Luca's about to start his final lap. He got a brilliant run in towards T1 and T2. I think we're seeing a mixture of abilities here as people get used to, of course, this track. But I have to say, it's looking quite close near the top. So Casper can't do anything. We'll see if Cole can do anything more. So Jake improves to a 154 now. As it slows down, we've got Luca on their final lap. And imagine if you watched the race in real life here. Of course you wouldn't, but if the race was to happen for real, you could hear the cars in the tunnel and it'll just be, oh my God, the best sound you'll ever hear. It's crazy. And I know there'll be some people that want to try and get good views here. But there'll be certain places where you can't really watch because otherwise it'll be a bit unsafe. But hey-ho. Hey-ho. What I love to see is a different winner for this next, well, the final round. I hope it happens. It probably will not happen, but if it does happen, that'll be, I think, something that everyone, the winner will be happy with, because they want a different winner, potentially. So here comes Luca then up to the line. What's it going to be for him? Looking like a good lap, actually. 1:51.284, third place. So that is it then for qualifying, unless Alistair could do any better. No. So, and Jack's not going to improve. So, Jovial is on pole and does get another pole point. Insane. So you can see the results on the right-hand side. And I have to say, people doing a great job there. People doing a very great job. How will people cope for the final round? This is probably the biggest margin in the world that we've seen for pole, though. I think Court definitely, of course, could have done, of course, a lot better in terms of lap times. I have to say the likes of Alistair looking quite close. Luca and Court looking quite close. Wet Lemons looking quite close to Lewis. Jake and Jack. Oh my goodness, this is going to be interesting. Same with Dom Smith as well. And we still got the battle for fourth and second. Fourth and seventh to talk about as well. So just because the championship is over doesn't mean there's no fight for spots in the championship. Of course there's going to be fights in the championship. What are you on about? So we are going to be starting in about a minute or two. So in about 1 minute, according to the host. So that is good. And of course, Roy saying thank you for my message on him being the champion. You're welcome. Very well deserved. He's going to have less pressure on him now. I thought he would have started in the back, personally, but he decides to not play that game. Again, he wants to have a little bit of fun for pole position, which is fair enough. I could see why. And honestly, it has been very great to cover these races this season, and I hope you all enjoyed them as much as I enjoyed commentating on them. And just a quick reminder, we're still not done with Dive Bomb action. We've got the F1 season starting next Wednesday. And that'll be at 7 o'clock. So you'll get Tuesdays off, but Wednesdays will be interesting for everybody involved in the F1 scene. And it is following the real life calendar, not Canada. What you on about? But we are about to get underway for the final race of the season. Here we come then. 7 rounds done. 1 round to go. Champion being crowned, but still places to be decided. Where will people place in the championship? Let's find out. And it is go, go, go. Casper's got a very good start. Jovial got a good start as well. They make their way up the hill through towards turn number 1. It's going to be very tight and action-packed. But again, it does depend on what tyre you're on. Jovial already pulling away quite massively at the moment. There's quite a lot of people trying to get some temperature into their tyres right now. As you can see, Lewis Cray trying to take an interesting line to get past Aidan Griffins. Luca dropping down quite a few places as Alistair Bain gets past Court now. It's up into second place. So Court has gained quite a few positions because of this. Court is doing a great job. Probably a bit too little too late, but he wants to have a little bit of fun. So the order is now Jovial in P1, Court in P2, Casper in P3 to go through the tunnel. But Casper's got a charging Alistair. Can Alistair keep his line through this corner, or can Casper sneak in? Casper's trying to sneak in. He's taking the long way round. Is it going to work? Aiden might try following through as well. And Casper, in the most difficult of corners, gets past Alistair, through it into P3. But we know that Alistair's going to try and find some ways for the other drivers around him to make a mistake. Luca's in this as well. They're all so tightly bunched up together. Luca's up into fourth. I think he's going to get third here. He's on the medium tyres. This could work for him, because Casper's having none of that. We've got Lewis Craig in this as well. But let's watch the battle for third, because that is where the main point is scored, of course. For the podium, side by side they go in towards turn one. Is Luca going to get the straight line speed that he needs here to go when they go up the hill? The answer to that is no. They're going to have to tuck behind for now. This is insane from P2, P3 onwards. It's incredible how tightly bunched those guys are, which strongly means that some people's race pace may be a lot better than their quali pace. And Casper is setting up PBs, purples. Luca's trying to do the same as well. And he's trying to maybe do the up and over. He's trying to find creative ways to try and go for the move here. So let's see what he could do then. Down the hill they go. Alistair in this fight as well. They're all tactically trying to make sure that they don't break enough. Well, they don't get slipstream, the ones behind at least. Casper, I think, is going to keep third. Luca's trying to do what Casper did the last lap, which worked for Casper last lap. But I don't think it's going to work for Luca this lap, but you never know. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. Tucker on the inside, go does Luca. Alice has got to follow through. I think Alice is going to try and get past Luca at this point. So that's going to breathe Casper a bit of a sigh of relief there. Or Casper almost made a bit of a mistake there. Almost losing a bit of momentum. Could this be free widening in towards T1? 4 wide potentially. Aiden's on this. Aiden, if he sneaks past all three of them, that will be absolutely insane in that Ferrari-powered car. So Aiden Griffins, Casper's lost quite a few positions because of it. Luca's up to third now. Oh, almost a little bit of a love tap there. And I think Aiden's going to get past. Yes, he is. Maybe, maybe not. Casper's not giving up without a fight, is he? This is insane battling. And you can see Jack Craig and Lewis Craig fighting as well. Oh, Jack almost made a mistake. Oh, my goodness. Positions keep changing like no tomorrow. It's incredible. Absolutely incredible. And for those of you that have not watched this live, honestly, you're missing out. But the ones who are watching it live, you've picked a great race to watch live. Obviously, I won't say who is watching it. Jack Craig, by the way, trying to get past Casper. I never thought I would say that, but Jack Craig seems to be having some very good pace around Trial Mountain. Has he been doing a bit of sweating? This is interesting. So, Casper set 156.1, 155.4, so Jack's about a second quicker at the moment. But Casper's on hards, Jack's on soft. That understands it then, but Jack's got to get past Casper now. You don't want to be in a position when your tyre dies that everyone else is going to pull away from you because you didn't get a chance to get the move. If I were you, you would have been the one that's probably trying to defend like crazy. So he's got to get past at some point. And look at this, the fight that we've been seeing all season. Jovial on court, they're fighting with each other. I'm rubbish. I will not. Honestly, I won't say any more sayings because my puns are absolutely ridiculous. They're not the greatest right now. But honestly, it's a busy. Oh, Casper, no! Casper's left the session, so that means he's out, and we're down to 10 runners. Oh, Casper was doing so well. Has Casper got a wheel problem, or did he crash or something that we didn't see? Oh, that is going for Casper. So his season, unfortunately, is over. But that means everybody that finishes here today is guaranteed a top 10 finish. Oh, just look at these two fighting. Oh, my God. This is what the final race brings to you, folks. Absolute mayhem like this. It's incredible. Monster versus McDonald's. What's the best word beginning with M? And what's the best car beginning with M? The one branded as a Monster, or the one branded as a McDonald's? It's making me hungry for a McDonald's, to be fair, at the moment. Incredible. But anyway, let's not mention about McDonald's because that might make you hungry, and I know quite a few of you watch this back. But here we go. Jovial leads from court in second place. Luca in third. The gap is 1.7 seconds. Alistair Bain in fourth. Aiden in fifth, who's catching up slightly. And oh my goodness, that was close between Jack Craig and Lewis Craig, but Jack Craig just about holds on. And it's going to get to a stage where the softs may be at a point where they could die. And we do not want that. We do not want that. I think Jack has got to pit now because Lewis knows that he's quicker. So Lewis has got to be brave. He's got to be brave. He can't afford to get past the car who's on the softer tyre that we know can't do as much of the race as him. So I think Lewis has got the move done now. Yes, he has. So Lewis has got the job done now. Brilliant work. And I think with these two having fun, I wonder if we could have a little bit of a switcheroo here. Cork's got the fastest lap at the moment, but the last lap for these two, it was around about a 10th separating these two, which is insane. I'm surprised. They may have switched positions throughout the race, but we may not have seen it. Apologies for my sneezes. And don't you worry, I do not have hay fever. There were times a few weeks ago where I thought I had hay fever, but it was honestly like a really bad cold. But luckily, I've got over it now. But that meant commentary for the first two races were, for the first week, was a bit awful. But there we go. I think I'm surprised. Oh, Jack! As soon as I went on board with you, you decided to go for a spin. That's Jay past you now, and that strong. Surely that means you got to pit now. You got to pit now. You may be waiting for the wrong time. Here comes Court, by the way. Gonna challenge down the tunnel straight. Court's got to take this lead in order to gain advantage. Maybe does not, or maybe taking a long way round. These two trying to catch each other out. And I have to say, pure respect, great driving between these two drivers at the moment to really, honestly, those two have been the championship contenders from the start. And they've definitely been proving it throughout the entirety of the season. And I think... Oh, pit stops! Court's gone in. Jovial stays out. So Court goes in for an early stop, going for a cheeky undercut. Will any of these guys do the same thing? Will Alistair do the same? Will Aiden do the same? Luca does the same. So Luca does the same and comes in early. So wanted to follow the leaders through. Oh, Lewis hit the wall. Not nice. But he stays out anyway. Jake stays out on hards. Will that work in his favour? We'll have to find out. With plenty of laps to go. It is a long lap. But to be fair, everyone is giving it everything right now. So Jovial leads, but still yet to box. Alistair in second, still yet to box. Aiden still yet to box. Pretty much the top 7 still yet to box. But apart from Court, who's boxed, and Luca. So it shows, of course, how the pace can be different to some drivers. And Court's now going to try and warm his tyres. And whilst Court warms his tyres, Jovial's got to really get the best in-lap that he possibly can. Hopefully Casper can tell me what happened. With him not telling me what happened, I think that might mean that his internet is not having the best of evenings. And what a bad evening to have bad internet problems. I honestly feel so bad for him. But hopefully next season, he can recover a little bit. So we'll see. And here we come then. Jovial is going to be coming into the pit lane, it looks like. And that will mean Alistair will take the lead. But again, it's still yet to box. So what tyre he's going to go onto, I think Jovial is going on to another set of the mediums. No, softs. Softs to the end of the race. Now that is, honestly, that is very, very brave. But of course we'll be able to see if that works or if it doesn't work. You never know for Jovial as we're on lap 8 out of 12. Make sure you do give us a subscribe if you haven't already. We're almost on 70 subscribers. It will be amazing if we get 70 subscribers by the end of that. But the undercut has helped Court. The undercut, blah. My word, it's crazy, I know. The undercut has worked absolute wonders. But Jovial's got past with the newer tyres. This is going to be a great scrap between these two. But I think what these 3 drivers are going to do up front is try and stay out as long as they can. I don't think, though, that's going to work for those lot because they'll have to come in soon. Because we know that those mediums won't last a long time. Court's on mediums. So Court could take that opportunity if we see Jovial struggling to go on and take the win here. This is so exciting. I love the different strategies being played from all drivers here this evening. And crazy enough, this race is going as quick as the first one, which shows how great of a season it has been. The fastest lap set so far is a 1:51.4. Look at Lewis Craig. Oh my goodness, Lewis Craig's in this fight as well. But we know those mediums won't last that long. But he's going to give it his all anyway. We saw Jovial get past him. Court's going to get past him too. He can't... None of these drivers can afford to make any mistakes at the moment. You can see Court trying to use a bit of the slipstream that he needs to. It's nice if people do different strategies because they can try and defend from the newer tyre runners, and because with this track it's not easy. But Jovial does get past up to third. Caught up to fourth. Luca, I believe, pitted recently for soft, so we'll see how his tyres last at the moment. Jake has been on hard, so has Dom Smith with wet lemons in ninth. That makes the battle for seventh even more interesting now. I think personally it's still going to go to wet lemons, but I can't do the maths. I can't do the maths. I'll have to get the... No, I do not want to delete that. I'll need to get the standings up. Nope, the standings have not been updated, so I can't check that. Which is annoying. Because I kind of want to see where everyone is and kind of hype a little bit more. But, of course we won't know who's finished fourth and who's finished seventh until a few days down the line. So on lap 10 of 12 now. A few laps to go of this race, a few laps to go of the season. Alistair, with his mediums, 5.8 second gap. Is he going to be doing enough to get those tyres to the end? But those rears are crying for mercy. You can tell by the way that he's handling in the car through the corners. So it would be brave if he makes it. But unfortunately, I just don't think he would. I don't think he would. But fair play if he does. He is increasing the gap, though, to Aiden. But Jovial's closing the gap to Aiden as well. So, I think, honestly, Jovial's going to do all he can to try and get past. But Aiden is no slouch. And you can see Aiden's getting a bit squibbly. And I think that's because his rears are going. And they're losing time to Alistair. They can't afford to lose time to Alistair here. But Jovial does get past up into second. I think on course for another victory. Aiden on to off the track. And he's got a penalty as well. So he's going to have to slow down at the next acceleration line. We're on lap 11, penultimate lap. How is everyone else's tyres doing? Lewis's mediums is not doing too bad. I think Lewis potentially... Lewis could potentially still get fifth here, but he's got to manage his tyres better. Luca, I think we'll definitely get to the end from here as well. Jake, I think, well, of course, he's on hard tyres, so with Dom Smith. Jovial setting the fastest lap. He's closing in on Alistair. So let's watch Alistair now as he makes his way through. He is showing consistent lap times. He's been in the 1:54s for the last few laps, so honestly, fair play to him so far. But of course, Alistair knows that Jovial is not going to give up without a fight. (1:12.1), 2 seconds slower than his previous best. That's how much time you lose on really worn mediums. The front right. Oh my goodness. I am not going to like that. I don't think you can tell if, like, how bad it is. But you can see with the tyre wear, it's like crazy. Absolute crazy. And I think Alistair's going to try and stay out there. He's going to try and stay out there. I don't think it's a good idea, but he's going to do it anyway. Aiden and Lewis had to pit. They had to, because otherwise they would have lost time. But Alistair's going to stick it out. Alistair versus Jovial versus Court for the win. Who is going to do it? We'll have to wait and see. Of course, Jovial and Court have been fighting for the win throughout the entirety of the race so far. They've been fighting for the title throughout the majority of the season. But it was Jovial that came out on top this evening in the title. And you can see Jovial has caught right up to the back of this. Alistair, I think Alistair's front right has died. Yes, it has. Jovial's overtook Alistair. I think Alistair staying out was not the best of decisions, which is allowing Court to try and go for the move here. And he does. Court gets past, up to second. Brilliant stuff. And we have a few, well, we're on the final sector now. And the final few crucial corners coming up now. But Alistair's already lost 2 seconds because he stayed out on the tyres. Whereas he should have pitted. And he could have probably still got P5. So, Jovial. He was crowned your champion earlier. He didn't need to win a race, but he wanted to have a bit of fun. He was fighting with Court throughout. Jovial, across the line, your champion wins the final race of the season. Court takes home second. Alistair still comes to finish on the podium with worn tyres. Fair play to him. Luca's going to come across the line. I think his softs is punctured. That's probably why he's slowing down. Or maybe you want to try and do some donuts. You never know. Aiden comes across the line in 5th. A great, I think one of his best results of the season, actually, for Aiden. So well done to him. Brilliant job. Also well done to Jake as well. Keeping Lewis at bay. Staying out on those hards is a bit of a signature thing for him, but he's done it. For the first time on the game for a while. For the entire season, he's done a great job. Dom Smith in 8th. Wet Lemons did very well in race 1, but didn't do very well in race 2, unfortunately. Jack Craig will come across the line as the final finisher in 10th. And Casper, of course, did not finish. I believe he disconnected, which is never a pretty sight for a GT7 race. But that has been your season then. That has been DBGT. And honestly, all the races have been absolutely fantastic to watch. And I would just like to say a massive thank you to all the drivers that have raced this season. If you were reserve, or if you only raced in a few races this season, or not all of it, or if you raced the majority of the season, we appreciate the amount of great battles you have given us. I think pretty much everybody has given us a battle or two to watch this season. So people are going to think, oh, I didn't have a battle. I did watch battles from every single driver that took part this season, which is amazing. And of course, thank you to Roy, also known as Jovial, and Jack Craig for hosting the lobbies every week. Much appreciated. And to Jack for, of course, organising this league. And of course, thank you to everybody for watching. Because without you... excuse me, why is my voice cracking? Without you, of course, there would be no one to interact with or anything like that. I've just seen someone in the chat. Wet Lemons, GG's been a great season. I could have handled the hards with no TC that one. No TC in GT7 is probably the bravest thing to do, so fair play there. So thanks to all the drivers, thanks to all of you a lot at home for watching, and thanks to Jack and Roy for organising this. And thanks to the league for letting me commentate on Dive Bomb Sports for the first time. But you haven't got rid of me yet. I will be back for DBF1 either tomorrow or next week. It does depend if they get enough people for their testing. If not, we'll see you next week for the first 2 rounds. But if not, but if they do get enough, we'll be live tomorrow for testing, which I believe is Spain. I will need to double check that. I think it's Spain. Yes, it is Spain testing. We just need 2 more drivers and then we'll stream it. Simple as. But I've been Jess Ball. Thank you for watching DBGT. And who knows? I may be streaming next season. I may not. But there will be another season on DBGT. Join us for season 2. Keep an eye on our socials. Make sure you follow us on all our socials. That'll be much appreciated. It is. I'm just trying to remember the Twitter name. So make sure you follow us on Twitter /X DB_sports_TV. So thanks for watching. See you next time. Take care, everyone, and good night.